I know you're all juniors in high school, but I need you to do something that I used to say when I was really little. I need you to put on your way back hat. I need you to think back into your history when you were a little younger, back to elementary school. And I need you to think of one of your favorite times of year, which is Christmas. Everybody loves Christmas, right? I don't have any Christmas haters. No Santa Claus haters. Good. And I need you to think of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Everybody remember Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? I don't have to explain him to anybody? Good answer. Okay. There was a Christmas special with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And Rudolph went to a place called the Land of the Misfit Toys. Do we remember this?
Yes.
Do you remember the toys on the Land of the Misfit Toys? Can anybody remember any of them?
Charlie in the Box.
Good one. We're coming back to you. Anybody else? Anybody remember any of those? The train with the square wheels. Anybody else?
The gun that shoots jelly.
The gun that shoots jelly. I forgot about that one. Did he have a gun that shoots peanut butter? Anybody else? Okay. Charlie in the Box. What was special about Charlie in the Box?
He wasn't named Jack yet.
Yeah, he wasn't named Jack, but what was special about that flaw versus everybody else's flaw? Do you know? Okay. We'll leave the test to the tall guy over there. I'll tell you the answers. If he didn't tell you what his flaw was, you didn't know. Charlie could have gone through his entire life and never told anybody that his name was Charlie, and he would have been a jack-in-the-box. You would have turned his little handle, the music would play, the lid would open, and you would react the way you reacted to any jack-in-the-box, and you wouldn't know that he was a Charlie in the box. Right? It was all good. So he didn't have to tell anybody he was Charlie in the box. He could have lived just like a jack-in-the-box for his entire life and made everybody happy. Made it easy for himself. Why am I telling you this? Because when I was your age, because when I was younger than you, and when I was older than you, I was Charlie in the box. And I grew up in a family where both my parents had been born and raised literally in the shadow of the Vatican in Italy. They emigrated to this country in their early 20s, short stop in Canada first. Okay? They raised 3 children. They decided that those children would grow up, get married, get better educations than they did, have children, and that cycle would go over and over and over again. Well, Jack in the Box could do that for them. Charlie in the Box couldn't do that. And unlike what the world is like for you today, when I turned on the TV and I read newspapers, there were no positive images of gay life. There was nothing. If you saw a gay person on television, if you read about a gay person, the outcome was not pretty. And so from a very early age, I decided that I was going to be Jack in the Box. And I wasn't going to tell anybody that my name was Charlie. And I held on to that for a really long time. I grew up. Okay, I didn't do so well at doing the college thing. But I did get married. And I stayed married for 10 years. And everybody in the world thought I had the perfect marriage. And I lived my life like I was a jack-in-the-box. And my family thought it was all cool. And my friends thought it was all cool. But inside, it wasn't cool. And I suffered a lot because of that. And I found out what the price was to being a Charlie in the Box who didn't tell everybody that his name was Charlie. So one day, after having been diagnosed with something called depression, and after having filled a prescription for something called antidepressants, which entered my life, I sat there and I thought, I can't do it anymore. And so I had this bottle of pills in one hand. And I thought, okay, I have 2 choices. I have a megaphone over here, and I have a bottle of pills over here. One way or another, this life has to end. Use the megaphone, use the bottle of pills. So I turn the crank, and the music plays, and the lid opens. Julie?
Thank you, Alex. I've heard Alex's story before, but it gets me every time. Amazing story. Thank you for sharing. This is where we take a deep breath because I can get very emotional. So if I get emotional, don't be alarmed. It's normal. It's perfect.